Do you wish for them to acknowledge your guilt on both of those charges, falsifying physical evidence and abuse of corpse?
Yes.
The surprise announcement came after the lunch break. 17 jurors had just been sworn in and given instructions from the judge, including explaining Adam's notable absence from the courtroom.
He is not here today. He has the right to be present, but he also has the right to be absent. You're not to speculate on why he is not here today, and you are not to in any way draw any negative or adverse inference or hold it against the defendant that he is not here today.
The jury was just coming back from lunch for opening statements when Adam Montgomery appeared on video from prison to confirm his intention to concede to 2 charges.
And that by agreeing to allow them to acknowledge this in opening statements, the jurors can find you guilty of those 2 offenses, relying on that information. Do you understand that?
Yes.
The abuse of corpse allegations are some of the most graphic descriptions in the affidavit of how Adam allegedly moved Harmony's body to various locations around the city and then tried to condense her remains using lime and brute force. Again, opening statements tomorrow, 9 a.m. No word on if Adam Montgomery will be in the courtroom. He will be asked an hour before departure time each day if he plans to attend his own murder trial. We're live in Manchester. Amy Cavino, WMUR News 9.
Now, one legal analyst says Adam Montgomery's decision to acknowledge some of the charges against him shows that he may try to blame someone else for his daughter's death. She says the likely choice is Montgomery's estranged wife, Kayla, who is also a star witness for the prosecution.
I would guess that he will point the finger at Kayla Montgomery and say she was the one who did it, and just basically use the logistics of, he is alleged to have hit her while driving, right? So how could he do that? Whereas he will most likely, again, I would anticipate he would have to testify that it was Kayla who struck her and she was distraught, and he had to handle the body.
LaFrance also says that strategy could require Montgomery to testify himself. And she says acknowledging abuse of a corpse may also be a sign that he knows where Harmony Montgomery's body is. And while that development was playing out in court, jurors were retracing the Montgomery family's steps on the day prosecutors allege that Harmony was killed. WMUR's Tim Callery is live now with a closer look at the key locations in this case.
And Jen, prosecutors describing today's jury view as the final journey of Harmony Montgomery, pointing out those key locations in their case against the little girl's father. The first stop of the jury view was a methadone clinic located at 20 Market Street. Prosecutors say this is where Adam and Kayla Montgomery took their children back in December of 2019. It's here where prosecutors say Adam began his assault on his daughter Harmony. The jury then traced the family steps to the Burger King on Daniel Webster Highway. Prosecutors say the Montgomerys went there after the clinic, and the state alleges that Adam continued to hit Harmony along the way. From there, it was the Colonial Village Apartments on West River Road. This is where the state says the Montgomery family lived out of their car after they were evicted from their Guilford Street home. Prosecutors allege that it was here where Adam Montgomery used drugs while Harmony was dying in the back seat of the car. The last stop was the site of the former Portland Pie Company. It's where Adam used to work and where the state alleges that he stored his daughter's remains in a walk-in freezer. And now the jury also stopped at the intersections of Webster and Elm Street here in Manchester. That is where prosecutors say Adam Montgomery first realized that Harmony was dead after the family's car broke down. They accuse him of putting the little girl's body in a duffel bag and then calling for a tow truck. Reporting live in Manchester, I'm Tim Callery, WMUR News 9.